Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my review recap of The Haves and the Have Not, Season 6, Episode 2, Searching for a Mother's Love. Now, I don't know why Tyler Perry decided to name this episode Searching for a Mother's Love, because nobody in this episode was looking for their mother's love. Like, it was all the opposite of that throughout this entire episode. Now the episode began where it last left off in the last episode, with Melissa and Veronica turned over, and Melissa was able to crawl out, and Veronica's still sitting up here begging this girl to help her out of the car. Melissa's sitting up there taunting her, telling her that she's going to die just like she let her father die. And I'm thinking, yeah, Melissa was just going to go crazy. And she's telling her she's not going to help her. She hopes she burns in hell. And she knows she's not afraid of the flames because she's the devil and all this crap. So while she's like sitting there taunting Veronica, while Veronica's begging for help, trying to get out, Mitch and Benny drives by. I say, this is so random. Like, they just so randomly happened to be driving by. And they saw Melissa sitting on the ground. Like, mind you, they never met Melissa before. So they don't know, like, it's Veronica in the truck or it's Veronica's car. Well, Benny could have recognized the car, because wasn't he in it before when he was banging Veronica out? He drove the car when she was in the car when she picked him up from the police station. So that was weird. But Melissa was telling, he was out there asking Melissa what happened and all that stuff, and is she gonna help her out? And she was like, no, Mitch and Benny did not know that it was Veronica, so they just immediately went into help mode, trying to help her get her out. And Benny was like, he's going to call 911. And they was asking Melissa, was she crazy? Because Melissa was still sitting up there taunting Veronica while Mitch and Benny was here. It was so weird. But eventually, they try to rescue her. And then, like, I think Mitch ran to go call 911. And Benny was like, he got into the car to help Veronica out a little bit. And she was like, Benny? He was like, Miss Harrington? And he ended up like dragging her out of the car or whatever. And basically that was the end of that. And the ambulance and all those people came. And they put Veronica in the little truck or whatever. And Melissa was saying that she hoped that Veronica had died, because the ambulance people and the police people, they were questioning her. And she still was like, oh, I hope she would have died. She should have been dead and all this crap. And Benny was telling her to stop talking like that. They can misconstrue her words, and they probably think she caused the accident because she's sitting there saying that she hopes she dies and stuff. They could twist any little thing, especially with her being black. And Benny was telling her to stop it, and asking her was she okay, and telling her she needed medical attention. So he ended up calling the medical people over and telling her that Melissa needed medical attention because she was in the accident too, and they basically like forced her to go to the hospital as well. And Benny was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's this going on and all this stuff? And she was just like, she just made her life a living hell and all this. I'm like, Benny, you just don't know the half of it that this girl done went through. If you probably went through some of this stuff, you probably would be thinking the same thing that Melissa's thinking. But anyways, Veronica's in the little ambulance bed or whatever, and she's talking about she don't want to go to the hospital alone. So Mitch came over there and told Benny that Veronica wanted him to ride to the hospital with her. And he actually got in the truck and went with her. I'm like, all this crap that Veronica done caused, and people still like coming to her rescue and aiding her. Like, she has really done Benny wrong before. And Benny got in the truck and he went to the hospital with her. Maybe Benny just got a good heart. Because if it were me, she wouldn't have never, I wouldn't be riding to the hospital with her. And then we get Jim at the hotel. Now, mind you, last episode, he got some money from David, some cash. But David ended up, like, calling the hotel to put the room in his name. So when Jim gets to the hotel, he's talking about his key card on where. So he go down to the desk with the little manager, man. The manager's like, well, you know, we have to have a ID or whatever. And he was like, man, you know me. You know me and you know David. You know I'm just going to not use David's card and all this stuff. So basically, Jim threatened the man's job and his life and all this other crap, and saying that he know about him and Catherine. I thought he was going to say like him and Catherine was having an affair, but he was like, he know about Catherine telling him to not give him a room or whatever. But the man didn't admit to that. But he basically ended up getting Jim in a room, and Jim ended up just going off like he usually does, berating people and talking crazy. And Jim finally put the room under David's name, and he went upstairs in the room. He was laying out in the bed watching TV. Now, mind you, the Chinese DA, he's doing a report about they're about to make an arrest soon on the DA Jennifer Salas, and he's standing up there with some other lady. And I'm like, who is this lady? We got introduced to a lot of new characters on this show, on this episode. And then while he's watching the news thing, he have a knock on the door, and it's Oscar. Oscar was like, man, let me in. So Oscar was in there telling him about how he planned to get Wyatt's money and all this crap that they caught Quita trying to steal, trying to take some money off of Wyatt's card and his ATM. And he guaranteed that Jim that he'll have it by next week, because he asking Jim, so what account you want me to put the money in? And then Jim was like, oh, you that confident? You haven't done anything. Yeah, the only thing you got me was the address, which is true. The only thing he got him was the address. But I'm like, Jim, it's hard to get somebody's address, especially if they trying to not be found. So he has done something. But he guaranteed him that he gonna have it by next week, minus all his fees and all this other crap. And then Jim tells him to get him in touch with somebody at the DA office named Sarah Duffy or somebody like that. But he never say why, and he wanted to make sure it's done on a low that nobody else know about it. And I'm like, Jim, like, what you got up your sleeve now? Like, what has Jim been doing? Because ever since they got arrested, he hasn't been back to the bench, but they hasn't said anything about him being suspended or not be able to practice law. So basically, he's just been running around town just acting crazy. But knowing Tyler Perry, this is all within the same probably week or two. But still, he hasn't been back to work yet since he was running for governor. What was he running from? Governor or senator or something. I'm assuming it was governor, so don't hold me to that though. But ever since he was running for governor, and what the white lady name is? The one who was his campaign manager who Veronica got shot. But ever since she got killed, like, Jim hasn't been doing anything. Like, nothing at all. Then we get Wyatt at Wyatt house. It was this man sitting on the couch, and I'm like, who is this man? Like I told you, we got introduced to a lot of characters on this show. And Wyatt is just, he walked in the living room, then he walked back in the bathroom, because he had like a towel or something around him. And then he walked back in the living room. He asked the man, who is you? Like, what the hell are you doing in my house? I would ask the same thing, but I wouldn't have walked back the first time and then come back empty-handed. That would have got me a whipping or something. Like, this man just sitting in the living room on your couch, probably watching TV, and you come out and you don't know who this man is. And he was like, he was somebody, I don't know, but he worked for the same place that Anna was working at. Apparently Anna quit, and she asked to be transferred to a new person because she snitched on herself that her and Wyatt had sex. And Wyatt was mad. He was like, she didn't even tell me, like, and he kept trying to call her and she wouldn't answer the phone. And then he ended up telling the man to get out and told the man he want Anna back, and he fired and all this stuff. The man practically begging Wyatt to help him. I'm like, Wyatt don't want you. Why you want that girl back? And we already knew it was gonna happen. How he was like, you could tell the sexual tension between her and him last season. But Wyatt basically ended up kicking the man out and firing the man, telling him he gonna do it on his own. I said, Wyatt about to relapse. If Anna don't come back, Wyatt don't gonna relapse. Because Anna now his new drug. He gonna need her to stay sober. That's how it is. Like with addicts, once they get over something, they need something else to cling on to. But he ended up leaving Anna this message like, oh, that's how you gonna leave? You didn't even tell me you was gonna leave. He left her on her answer machine, I'm assuming, because he kept calling her and she didn't answer the phone. So when Wyatt put the guy out, Oscar called and pretended to be somebody in the police place with some kind of accent or whatever, trying to sound like he's from Texas or somewhere. And he was telling him how Quita got his car, and they called her trying to steal money out of the ATM. And Wyatt was like, okay. And he was like, you need to call the bank to notify them that somebody was trying to get into your account, and make a report through the bank. And he was like, okay, I'll do it. And then he was like, he was going to come down and do it. And Oscar was basically trying to tell him, no, don't come down here. Just do it over the phone. So he was trying to trick Wyatt into giving him his banking information over the phone. Because as you know, he told Jim that he's going to have that banking information by the end of the week. But Wyatt didn't fall for it, to my surprise. Wyatt was like, okay, whatever, I'll handle it. He hung up on Oscar. And Oscar was like, you arrogant SOB. And then he was like, he was like, he really hung up on me. And I'm like, yeah, Wyatt got a little bit of sense not to give his banking information over the phone, no matter, because you could be, anybody could pretend to be somebody from jail or something. Because he didn't get the precinct. He didn't get his badge number or anything like that. He didn't get anything about him. He just said he's from the police department. That could be anybody with an accent. He already saw that they were trying to use his money or something, so they could have been trying to get his account over the phone. Like, I don't know if Oscar thought of that, but they could have had like a crew working together, and they could have been trying to get Wyatt's information over the phone. Wyatt hung up on him. I'm like, that's good for you, Wyatt. That's good for you, but you still don't need no $12 million to mess up. And then we get the two white guys at the hotel. Now, one of them is the hotel manager. I don't know who the other guy is. Like I told you, we got introduced to a lot of new characters on this show. And the hotel manager, he was like, he was going to try to go after Catherine because she's lonely. And you can tell that Jim's not treating her right or doing her good. You can tell that she's mad. And plus she got all this money. And then the man was like, are you serious? You going to go after her? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to go after her. And the man was like, that would never work because in this town, image is everything. And she won't be seen out with you in public. So he basically shut down that idea. Then they started talking about some prostitution ring they rented out. I'm like, this is really crazy. Like, Tyler Perry jumping off the deep end. And they was like, they need some more girls and not enough money coming in and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Because we never had any backstory from any of these two people. This is the second time us seeing the hotel manager. And the first time us seeing this whole guy throughout the entire season. And then it was like by Jim being in the hotel is ruined the entire operation. I'm like, how? When Jim don't even know what y'all are doing. Jim barely even know the hotel management. The only reason why he know him because he kind of owned the hotel. And then the man revealed that Catherine was worth $250 million. I said, and she had the nerve to try to offer Jim $250,000. That's what, 1% of her entire net worth? Catherine really is a fool for that offer. But yeah, so basically they mad because Jim, they're talking about they're going to ruin everything. But we're going to see where this storyline goes because this is really off the deep end with this storyline. And then we get Hannah back at the house. Apparently Catherine sent over this handyman to come fix the sink because you know last episode the sink was leaking and the man was looking kind of fine. And Hannah was like, who is you? He was like, oh, Catherine sent me over to fix the sink. And he was like, he was the builder of the house and all that stuff. And then him and Hannah was talking back and forth. And Hannah was, to my surprise, she was really nice to the man. And then he was talking about he built the house and all that stuff. And then he was like, oh, you bought the house? She's like, no, she's just letting me live until I find another house. And then the man was like, well, he built a lot of houses. And she was like, he was like, he has some other ones that's like half the price. And she was like, I need one that's like a fourth of the price. And he was like, I have some too, but it's on the other side of town. She was like, that's fine because I've lived over there for 30 years. And I'm like, look at Hannah. Because usually Hannah don't take anybody's help. I guess since she's trying to like work at it alone, that she doesn't consider this help. But she, to my surprise, she was very welcoming with the man. What happened to the other man from the church who granddaughter got killed? Why she just stopped seeing him? That was so random. He just like left one day and ain't never came back. But yeah, he said he was gonna fix the sink or whatever, and she ended up getting a call from the morgue saying there was something in little Q's pockets, and she needed to come down to pick it up. And I'm like, didn't this baby been dead for about a week, and y'all just not checking his pockets? Y'all, they done been picking out caskets, playing in funerals and all this stuff, and y'all talking about it's still some of his pockets. That was crazy too. So she ended up going to the living room or in another room, calling Catherine, telling her about it, asking Catherine, is it okay to keep the man in the house? And Catherine like, yeah, he's fine. Catherine like, oh, did you see how he looked? Well, basically Catherine done set that man up to come over there, I guess, to try to cheer Hannah up and be looking all sexy and stuff, but Hannah wasn't even in the mood for it. But she was like, yeah, I saw him. And then she was telling him about what the morgue said, and Catherine offered to go down there with her to see what was going on, and Hannah denied it, of course, as usual. But she was tolerable this episode, because usually she gets on my nerves. But so yeah, so she ended up going down to the morgue, and the morgue gave her this little letter thing and some other stuff that was in the bag. I couldn't really tell what it was. And she started reading the thing and she was crying and stuff. I was like, oh, that's so sad. But yeah, but so that was the end of that. She ended up crying and praying and saying she's sorry and all this stuff that she usually does. Then we get David and Erica. Now Erica come back with like 1 or 2 bags, talking about she only spent $400. And David was like, I told you to go get some wardrobe. She was like, well, I didn't get that much. I only spent $400. I said, David, this girl don't want down your credit card, the little CV thing that's on the back with the 3 numbers, and if you got American Express, it's the 4 numbers on the front of the card. She done wrote that down, your name, and she done got all your credit card information, and she about to empty out all your accounts. You better keep your eyes open for the scammer. Yeah, she look cute and all that, but keep your eyes open for the scammer, because she has your nose wide open, David. Wide open. And then he gets an unknown call, and she was like, oh, you're not going to answer the phone? He was like, no, it's an unknown number. She's like, it could be important. She was like, well, anybody important that's in their number is stored in my phone. I said, ooh, okay, David. And then we back to the hotel. We get Candace trying to pay for another night. And the little desk man, he was like, your room was already paid up for a month. Because she was trying to pay in cash. And she was like, really? And she was trying to feel like that she forgot that she had already paid. And then that's how she was pretending. And then the man was like, yeah, somebody already paid it. She was like, well, what card is on the account? Trying to like give inquiries and all that stuff. And the guy was like, oh, they paid it off in cash. She was like, So I'm sitting up there thinking, who the hell paid off her room in cash for 30 days at a high-end hotel? That's a few racks. More than a few racks. But, so she put her little money back in her purse and she went over to the bar. As soon as she sat down, Oscar come rolling. And I said, he need to stop stalking this girl, because that's basically what he's doing. He is stalking the mess out of Candace. Now, he come over there pestering Candace, trying to get her to still, like, roll over on Charles Obama. And I'm like, leave this girl alone about this man. She already said she's not going to corrupt the man. So he started talking about first ladies, how much she can make, book deals, appearances, and all this stuff after the presidential election. All this kind of crap over to Candace. Candace still not falling for it. So while he's talking to Candace, he get a call from the police department, quote unquote, I guess, or for somebody asking, saying that the girl that was on the tape was Quita Maxwell, trying to use Wyatt's card or whatever. So Candy perked up when he said Quita Maxwell, and she was asking like, what you know about Quita? And she was calling the girl a crackhead and all this crap. And then they going back and forth, and he was trying to ask her stuff, and she was like, well, you want information from me, I want information from you. So she was trying to dig and try to see how much information he had on Quita and all this stuff. And then basically they just bickering back and forth, trying to exchange information or whatever. And then he drops the bombshell on her, telling her that Jeffrey's in jail for the murder that she committed on Quincy Maxwell. So I guess he's trying to say, oh, I got you now. I got some information on you too. But Oscar, Jeffrey was the one who killed him. Candace ain't do nothing. I don't even think Candace even hit him, because he was on top of trying to kill Candace. Jeffrey the one came with the knife, stabbing him. So the right person really is in jail. So y'all keep trying to blame this on Candace when it actually was Jeffrey. I don't know why people don't think that Jeffrey is capable of this. Did he stab his own mom in the titty? Did he kill somebody, shoot somebody, or stab somebody when he was a kid? What the little boy name? Bobby somebody who kept picking on him or something like that, and he just snapped. Y'all keep thinking Jeffrey, it always be the quiet ones that people don't think that's going to do something that end up snapping and going crazy. But he tried to like blackmail her with that, so she was like, man, get out of my face. So she started yelling, get away from me! And he got up and left. That's like last time when he was up there, she was screaming for him to get away from her, making like he's harassing her, which he really is. He's like basically stalking this girl at this hotel. And he was like, what you gonna do? Keep staying here till you run out of money? You don't have any more money, so what are you gonna do? Keep tricking? And I'm like, boy, bye. Next we get Jeffrey and Justin in jail. Justin coming through the jail trying to call out Harrington, like he don't know Jeffrey like he did last episode. So he come out and get Jeffrey, put Jeffrey in handcuffs, and then take him to the little interrogation room that he took him to last time. asking him if he okay and all this crap. And he kept saying, he kept trying to call his dad, but his dad not answering the phone. He called him unknown or something. I said, oh, that was him, because I thought that was going to be the hospital that was trying to call David for Veronica. But it was actually Jeffrey. I guess he did star 67 and call him. But David didn't answer the phone, because Jeffrey keep trying to get him in touch with his dad. So he asking him, like, he just like feeling all on Jeffrey, like trying to touch his little wee and everything. I'm like, leave this man alone. This is sexual harassment. Like, Jeffrey has a lawsuit against the police department because, number one, he's taking this man out of his cell without his permission. Well, he don't even really need permission, but without authorization for no reason. Just take him into some interrogation room to fill all up on him and all this stuff. This is really crazy. But Jeffrey keep mentioning him, like, what your wife think about all this? What about your wife? And every time he say his wife, Justin gets mad and angry. Like, he like gets really mad and angry. And he don't want him mentioning his wife at all. He keeps saying that he hasn't been home. And I'm like, you can't prolong this. You're gonna have to go home. Like, you've been wearing the same uniform for weeks. Well, what has been like about 5-6 days, I guess. I don't know. You've been wearing the same uniform over and over. Been bathing at the police thing. I'm quite sure you ain't got no underwear there. Not that many, unless you keep going buying packs and packs of underwear. And this is the same uniform. What, you gonna wash it at the jailhouse? Do they got washing dryers in the prisons? Or in, like, down at the police stations and stuff? Like, cause Jeffrey, or you went to your mama house, the little nosy lady. What happened to her? But yeah, he said he hasn't been home yet, and Jeffrey keeps saying that his wife might talk to other judges to get him in trouble, which they probably would. And he keeps saying he don't think his wife gonna do that and all that stuff. I'm like, you never know what a sworn woman can do. Cause when a woman's fed up, it's like hell on everyone. And Justin, like, really gets on my nerves now, like, for real. Because he's, like, so annoying, talking about how he loved Jeffrey, how he in love with Jeffrey. Ask Jeffrey if he loved me, and Jeffrey like, no. You know, Jeffrey get a little stupid smirk. No. And he's talking about, you not in love with me? That mean everything I've done is in vain. That mean I done this for nothing. Yeah, basically. And then he kept asking Jeffrey, you love me? Jeffrey, you love me? So Jeffrey like, yeah, I love you. He's like, oh, I knew you love me. I knew you love me. I'm like, that ain't no confirmation. That's just saying, yeah, I love you, just to get you off my back, for you to stop asking me stuff. But he like hugging all on Jeffrey, like kissing out, trying to kiss Jeffrey, and like trying to feel all on him. I say, Justin is really trying it. He's really trying it. And Jeffrey kept begging him to go back to his cell, but he kept begging and asking Jeffrey if he loved him, sitting all on Jeffrey's lap. And Jeffrey's like, man, just take me back to my cell. And Justin sitting up here acting like a lovesick schoolgirl. It's just really pathetic. He basically throwing himself at this man. He's a married man. And Jeffrey really don't want him. Only why Jeffrey even used him in this whole scenario because Candace made him. And then basically because Jeffrey killed Quincy. And he needed police help. But that's the only reason why, to get himself out of hot water. Jeffrey seemed like one of them types that once they bone you a little bit, they just done with you. Because he did the same thing to Landon. But he been lusting after Wyatt, and Wyatt won't give it to him. He get Charles Obama. I didn't even know he was going to be on this season. I thought they just was going to write him out. He's sitting there trying to work some iPad or something, and it won't work or whatever. So Landon walks in there, and Landon was like, Landon helped him fix it or whatever. And he was like, he don't know what he'll do without Landon. And Landon was like, thank you. He loves working. He loves, what Landon said? He loves working for him. He loves being with him or something like that. And Charles was sitting up there. He was like, you don't really mean that. You've been in this thing for how many years? But he was like, Landon was like, he loves what he do. And I'm like, is Landon pushing up on Charles? Because he was just like landing on thick, giving him all these compliments and all these accolades and all this stuff, saying that he really seemed like a people's person, and he seemed like he really in it for the right reasons and all this stuff. And then Landon offered him a drink. And then Charles was like, yeah, if we're going as friends and not as employee. And then Landon was like, okay. And I'm like, did Oscar set this up? Landon trying to get him to drink in order to get him to spill some information about him, or to try to get him in an uncompromising position, like him naked or something in the bed with Landon, trying to really get him messed up so he could take some pictures and all this crap or some stuff like that to try to jeopardize the campaign. That's what I keep thinking. That Oscar done somehow dug his way into Landon, and he's working his way into Charles. Because the way he was just like complimenting him and doing all this and all that just now, it just really seemed really bizarre. Especially how Charles went off on him last season about that Candace stuff. And he kept like really laying it on thick with Landon to like leave him alone and to get over it, that he really, really wanted Candace. That's why I keep thinking that Oscar got something to do with this Landon thing. I just feel it down in my soul. Oscar, since Candace won't get into him with him, Landon can. And then we get this scene with David and Erica. Both of their phones keep ringing, and both of them keep playing like they're ignoring it. And David's probably getting a call from Jeffrey's phone, because in the last, when Justin pulled Jeffrey out of the prison, all these J's on here, Jeffrey actually gave him the passcode to his phone to call his dad when he told him that he couldn't get in touch with his dad. And I'm like, no, Jeffrey, don't give him the passcode, because he's going to be acting a fool with your phone. He probably going to be texting Wyatt, going through all your emails, text messages, everything. The man already crazy. And then you gave him your phone, your passcode to your phone. But David's ignoring it, and then Erica keeps getting the call. And I'm like, who calling her? It's Candace. So she playing it all, talking about, oh, it's my sister. And Candace basically threatened this girl's life. And she was like, oh, you with him? And she was like, she need $100 grand in 2 weeks, or by the next week or something. I forgot what time frame she gave her. And she was like, $100 grand. I'm like, because David had ended up walking to the other room. And I'm like, Candace, what is girl finna get $100 grand from? But I was like, well, she got David's credit card. She can do some cash advances off there. But I hope Erica, I don't know, Erica need to stand up to Candace. She just, even though I don't like her, she needs to just not sit there and just roll over on Candace. Just let Candace do her any kind of way. But she basically agreed. Erica had asked her by when, and she was like, when I call you back, you better have it. So Candace never told her when she needed it or whatever. So David ended up coming from the other room with some food and all this stuff, talking about he done cook for her. And I said, David, this girl done put that little young cootie cat on you, and you don't know how to act. Mind you, it ain't no furniture in the house, so they just standing up there looking stupid, holding plates. It just looked so crazy. But so she ended up saying goodbye to Candace on the phone or whatever, and that was it for them. And then lastly, we get Hannah at the morgue in the hospital, and then she run into Benny with Veronica in like the little wheelchair. They pushing her in the hallway, and it just stopped like that. But that was in episode 2 of season 6 of A Mother's Love: The Haves and the Have-Nots. That was my review recap of The Haves and the Have-Nots. So don't forget to tune into my channel every week for my updates and recaps. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share this video, like this video, and leave a comment down below if you watched the episode. What did you think? Do you watch the show? And buy my ebook, Football Wax, off of Amazon Kindle for 99 cents. Kindle Unlimited, you get read both parts for free. Thank you guys for purchasing and reading them. It does notify me when someone purchases it and when someone reads them. So thank you guys so much for that support as well. All my social media links are down below if you want to follow me on social media: Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. You can follow me down below. Thank you for tuning into my channel.